Okay.
Don't cry. America's dong. That is what it is.
All right. What's going on?
Don't you be afraid of America's dong. Oh, we're live. What's going on, everybody? How is the chat doing tonight? How is my panel doing tonight? Welcome to the dump. What's going on, gentlemen?
I was just looking at this. Chris Evans apparently is destroying the internet right now.
Yeah. Ding dong.
I heard he destroying the internet. I heard that he's,
Oh, yeah. Hey, man.
That's not
if you're going to let those pictures, come out, you better be well hung. You know what I mean?
How did you accidentally do something like that, though?
It wasn't an accident.
I don't think it was an accident because it's mighty strange how DC Fandom came out today and Chris Evans started trending when DC Fandom was going on. I think he was trying to stop the shine.
Oh,
that was going on
wait a
with
minute.
him. I think
you know what? I forgot something. Hold on 1 second, gentlemen. I totally got taken away by Chris Evans' dong. I totally forgot to do this. Hold on 1 second. Let's start the show right.
I like that beat. Oh yeah, that was Chris Evans in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about that. That was like a comedy, right? That was a comedy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it was. That was what movie was that?
Not another teen movie, right?
Yeah, not another teen movie.
That was like the first one, wasn't it? That was the first one.
And look what I just happened to be eating on when we started streaming.
Manners. Christie, what do you think?
Hi, Christie.
Of this picture. What does this picture do for you?
Nothing.
Okay, I was
Not
just
that
wondering.
pic.
Me.
Chris Evans is trending.
Me.
Oh, I know why he's trending.
Oh, do you?
Hell
What's going on?
do.
I don't understand what's going on. What happened?
So
Yeah, fill us in, Christie. Why is it?
No, truly. So apparently he was. I think it was on Instagram. He was live or doing some kind. Scott, you got to be careful on when Chris Evans trending.
I got it.
I'm not the one controlling it.
She kicked the crap out of that dude. What is that girl doing?
That's him.
So he was doing some kind of. So he was doing some kind of thing with like some kind of quiz thing or one of those little things on Instagram that you could take, and his brother, I think it was his brother and sister in the background playing too, and then when he forgot to edit it or do something, it flashed to his other pics, and yeah.
Well, he's an actor. He's an artist. He was just making sure that everything looked all right, I guess. But I think
that's one of the ones.
You know what? Let me introduce everybody first. We haven't even done that yet. So, according to Christie, say hello.
Hello.
Thank you for being here. I know you're doing almost as bad as I am with the internet right now. So I appreciate it. And
I know.
Yeah, it's rough. But our special guest for the night, the ninja himself, Fatal Che. How are you doing, my man?
My mommy spanks me when I'm a bad boy.
How's that internet, Fatal?
It's excellent day. I'm at my parents' house for real.
That's what I asked.
This is not a joke. I'm not at my house. I'm at my parents' house.
They got the good internet, huh?
Spanks me when I'm a bad boy.
Oh, man. And above him, one of my partners in crime, CultureCasino. How are you, my man?
Woohoo! He's a
Hey, I'm doing very well. Thank you. I would like to say hi to the chat. Hi, chat. And to Fatal J, who is totally awesome and is putting together a great comic book. And you better be on the mailing list, or I will be disappointed. I will be very disappointed in you. Very disappointed in you.
Yes, sir.
You want to be disappointed casino? Disappointed casino.
You don't want a disappointed casino. You do not want a disappointed casino. And my co-founder, I'm saying co-founder now because I want credit of Rogue Entertainment is the great Stephen Walton. What's up, man?
What's going on, everybody? Normally, this is my I can relax and have fun stream, but Scott is away from home, not the internet. You know what? He has internet no matter where he's at. So now I got to be a producer and a guest.
It's even worse. It's even worse than at home.
All I see is Harley Quinn's crotch behind you.
Yeah. You better believe it.
Nothing wrong with that. Now, let me ask you, I want to ask Fatal J a question. He brought this up. This is DC fandom, but yet Chris Evans and Marvel are taking the long way around it and blocking it with his dong, right?
No, I'm sorry. No, I don't believe that one bit.
If you want to get attention, what you do is get naked. That's what you do. And Marvel
So you're saying he's pulling a Kardashian? He's pulling a Kardashian.
He's pulling a Kim Kardashian, coming out with the sex tape and the leaked pictures. Yes, he is.
Yep.
Yes, he is.
Yep. I agree with that. Let's check out the chat real quick before we start getting into all the big stories. The Time Prophet says, I am the first one here. Woohoo! All right, my man. Tina, one of my great members. If you'd like to join, please do. Feel free to help out the cause and get me better equipment. Tina says, happy Saturday, friends. And then we got to jump down to Toxic Man Flu because if I don't, he yells at me. And it says, well, do I do homework or do I watch RoboSpork? We know the answer to that, my man. We know the answer. And then we have the Accidental Tourist. 9:30 start. Whoops. Here way too early. I'll get some laundry done and I'll be right back. I hope you came back. Deviant Porg in the house. Deviant's here. Will Scott manage to tame the wild internet? The answer soon. I'm doing all right now. I think I'm doing all right now. Does anybody else think is it okay?
You're doing very good.
You hear me?
I think you're doing very good.
Okay, coming in good. All right. That's one of my new favorites. That is gorgeous.
Hey, you see that
astronaut Steven dump.
I'll never forget when I was in the 4th grade. I went to NASA and they took a picture of me and put my face on the astronaut body. And these stupid little kids used to come to my house all the time. And they're like, oh my God, did you really go into outer space? And I looked at them just like this. Can you blow me up? I looked at them just like this.
Okay, I'm coming. Hold on. There we go.
I said, yeah. Yeah. And they believe me.
I really wish I could show my face right now.
I know my mom has a picture somewhere. If I find it, I'm gonna show y'all. Y'all gonna laugh.
Oh, you better. I want to be part of that. Oh, here's one of our special memes.
Oh yay!
In Brutal Morningwood. Yes, this is fun.
Dang, CultureCasino is cold with the memes. I never seen movies.
Oh, he's vicious.
Jeez,
he's vicious. He knows his stuff. He got me looking like ads and a ripped body and
let me
Steven measuring his dong.
Let me find out if you're a scientist or something like Dr. Robotnik. Are you Dr. Robotnik, sir?
No, I just have good hair.
Oh, we got somebody else here in the chat. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
You do some excellent work, sir.
What's up, Script Doctor?
Hold on, we got a Script Doctor in the house. Script Doctor in the house.
What just happened?
What is up, sir?
Oh,
I covered my mouth.
What happened to culture?
Oh, did we lose culture? Oh, sorry about that.
Why they keep saying this slogan with Chris Evans?
Because he has shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get clipped as hell for saying this. But
What's going on now?
There we go.
So in his
Hold
picture gallery,
Hold on, Christy.
I fucking
Christy?
hate you, Scott.
Okay, say what you were gonna say.
So in
Yeah.
shit.
Mm.
In his gallery, you know how if you can take the picture gallery, he has a picture of himself with that phrase.
Okay. What? Well, he is Captain America.
He's a toxic male? What? Wait a minute. I thought he was a virtuous guy.
You already showed it. You showed it earlier.
Gordon.
So that's real. I just thought that meant he had a really big rocket ship.
Dude, he's a step
he
behind.
does.
He's a step behind because Script Doctor has that tattooed on his chest.
Yeah, he does.
Is that a real high school picture?
This one was just the easiest one for me to grab.
Man, I'm not fast enough.
Nope.
Can we see that one more time?
One more time.
What's going on now?
Who knows?
The biggest one. This one was just the easiest one for me to grab.
There you go.
That woman.
Wait, what's going on with Chris Evans? I haven't been paying attention to the internet.
Well, Chris Evans has apparently. Oh, you know what? Christie tells it so much better than me.
I fucking hate you.
She knows this story.
Yeah.
She's looking.
Christy,
into
say it again. What was it?
So Chris Evans was on Instagram apparently, and he was doing some kind of those little quiz things that you can do. Whatever. I don't know a lot of it about Instagram, but he was trying to edit.
Marvel hero you are or something.
Yeah, like something like that. And he doesn't know how to edit or trim or just not do that anyway. So he exited out, and you know how you can see a picture gallery of like if any selfies or pictures you've taken. You see one where it has him with the guard the P, and then you see another one of a eggplant.
Guard the pepperoni. Was he
I'm not
making pizza?
saying
Well, I don't
Wait,
understand what you're saying.
Why does he have an eggplant? Like Brie Larson with her zucchini?
Right.
Is he in a cooking show?
I regret clicking on the fucking link.
I'm just asking questions.
Wait, there's
Christy.
a link to this Instagram
Or is
thing?
he-
Because I don't have Instagram. I can't see that.
Oh God, I put her backstage
You
by
put me
accident. Oh God,
backstage,
I'm horrible.
asshole.
I hit the wrong button all the time. You know this. Is it something like this? Is this what we're talking about?
Not really, because there's nothing there.
Damn.
Oh, poor
Wait,
Final.
for Chris
Oh,
Evans
Final.
or for this model here with Final's head on it?
Yeah.
No, that's actually Final. Yeah, that's Final. That's the real
Fatal's
Final.
like, what the hell
You
have
guys-
I got?
Is Captain America? So what you're saying is Captain America really a captain, or is he more like a private?
Major.
I'm looking at this picture. I know the guy right there is Finaldeathstar, but who is that girl right there?
That was Christie.
Chris Evans and that's a Chris Evans admirer right there.
That's Christie right there.
Was that Cabo? Were we in Cabo?
And what's so bad is never mind. I need to shut up. Yeah, that's an actual screen cap of his on his phone, like of the gallery.
Oh, that's the real one?
That's the real one. He had that like on.
Oh, okay.
Guard
All
that.
right, for $5, real quick, for $5, Toxic Man Flu says, "Here's my donation to the Mobile T computer upgrade for Sporking. He has been working on his hand crank starting power for years."
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
It's a big
Thank you.
spool of copper right next to his computer.
I do have to say something. I just realized I did wrong. You know how you guys said I sounded like I was in a trash can the last stream?
Yeah.
My earbud, which is fit a certain way in my ear, I had it upside down.
You dumbass.
So the microphone was going towards the
Okay.
ceiling. Yeah. Whew. I suck. God, I suck. All right. Let's say hi to Karen Prime. Hi to everybody else in the group. Become a channel member today. All right, let's get back to it, guys. So Chris Evans is guarding the potato, and I think this is important. Yeah.
No.
So he's Private America, not Captain America?
He's
He's Major America.
something like that. Major. Yeah, he's Colonel. That's a Colonel right there.
That's what the women are commenting on. It's a win.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It's an above average win. It might be in the same ballpark with Jeremy.
Miss Teresa Martin, how are you doing, ma'am?
What? Who's Jeremy?
Geeks and Gamer.
What?
Is it a full salute? Half-mast type of thing.
Teresa Martin, you are the queen of everything.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for
Teresa Martin
because she's the one that's seen it clearly.
No, Tina. Highlight Tina. Highlight Tina's message.
Tina's message. Okay.
Is it really like? Is it like that, Tina?
Wow. He
I haven't seen it.
Dang.
I mean, I haven't looked at it.
I don't want to see it now. I'm scared.
Will it emasculate?
For $2, Toxic Man Food says Scott Dumas of Sporking News. Yeah. Okay, man. I'll take your money, son of a bitch. So he has a dong. We all know this. The man showed his dong. At least he's of age. At least he's an adult. We understand that that's allowed. What the hell is this? Oh, I'm the one who got this.
It's the one you asked me to share.
I'm pulling it together, bro. Pull it together. Okay, people.
My God,
we're gonna go over I know I'm having some issues. We're gonna go over the Oscars first. What do you guys? What have you heard about the Oscars? What their changing of the rules?
You know what? I tend to lean toward Tom Connor's Midnight Edge After Dark. Go check him out, guys. He's great. I kind of lean toward where he's at. I think this is a forced hand to, I think there's get woke, go broke has pretty much been confirmed at this point. It doesn't work all the time. It doesn't happen all the time. But we've seen a lot of failures from people who are posing as creatives who are more interested in pushing their belief systems onto others through the medium of entertainments, and they're not working. The fans check out. They want a good story. They just want to be taken away. They want escapism, and they're being shoved down the throat with like late 2000 teens politics. People are sick of it, now that this is happening, there's probably enough of a rumor going on around investors and different people that they just want to move away from that and go back to making money and produce decent entertainments, or at least something that will make money. And I think this is kind of like a last ditch effort by people in Hollywood who still cling to those belief systems, that if they make conditions, like you have to check mark these conditions in order to be a part of the Best Picture, a part of our our little club of awards, which this award ceremony is important to people within Hollywood, as Script Doctor has said before. I think this is like their last ditch effort to force them into capitulation, into using their platforms for this type of rhetoric. That's what I think. I think it's garbage. I don't watch the Oscars anyway. This doesn't really impact me directly. I think it's geared more toward people within Hollywood to kind of force their hand, or into making these films if they want to be considered for Best Picture. Right.
And before we move on, Christie has to bounce. So thank you for stopping in, my friend.
Hold on,
they can find you.
Hold on, Christie.
What?
Tell us about a dick pic, and now she's out.
I didn't even know y'all were going to freaking talk about that.
You wanted to come in and just talk about Chris Evans' penis.
No, I didn't. Because y'all don't understand. Once I heard y'all talk about that, I was like, oh no. But then Scott brought me on. But yes, please.
You came. I'm happy that you did.
It is America's dong.
She did come.
Culture, you're going to clip this shit, aren't you?
I am.
Fuck.
Thank you, Christie. Tell them where they can find you. Where are you next?
Cheat. So my channel is you can find. I'm gonna brush from Jayne. You can find me on YouTube and Twitter according to Christie. And please subscribe if you want to. Please follow everybody on the panel. Christie's Toxic Man Flu for $2. Christie Quickies. Gotta love them.
Yeah, yes, you do.
So are you going to be
Fatal J? How do you feel about that?
Well, I don't experience some people quickies in my life, so Sometimes you don't have a lot of time on your hands.
Thank you, Christie, for being here.
Scott, how dare
and I
you.
appreciate you for being here.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye,
Bye, guys.
Bye. Just let us know. Thanks. Bye.
All right,
Bye.
Yeah. Bye. She ninja'd us. All right.
Wow,
and we
she
got
left us for Chris,
90.
Chris Evans' Wang.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What up, Makini?
Makini 90 for $2. Super sticker. What is it, guys? Anybody know?
I can't see it.
Man, you can't bring it up on your
StreamYard
channel. That's why you have another
It's actually not
It's a fox. It's the fox with hearts.
Oh, I like that. I like that, Makini 90. Thank you. That is sweet. All right, let's move on. So, does anybody else have anything to say about the Oscars before we start this? Because I think I hear, Steven, what you're saying, but I think it goes even deeper than what you think it's touching on. I think it can affect the whole movie industry.
What now?
What happened?
Well, that's what some people theorize. It could affect the whole movie industry.
Mm-hmm.
No, it'll screw up movies so badly for so long it won't even be funny. I mean, it's going to be a real
screw up the
problem.
movies from studios that want that award.
Right? Yeah,
Right.
Tom's not wrong. It's a situation where they are going to force an agenda to get an Oscar. But guess what? We can replace the Oscars. There was a point in time when there wasn't an award given from the Academy of Motion Pictures and Science, right? We didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
So, so anybody can come up with an award show. We have 310 of them. Oh, for sure. It's definitely a power play. I agree with the script. Absolutely.
It's definitely a power play. And I think the Academy of Motion Pictures and Sciences is going to lose, because the fact of the matter is that, yes, there are definitely a bunch of people out there that want to virtue signal, that want to be immortalized from the content that they're creating that fits this line of thinking. But at the end of the day, it's not going to make much money, and it's not going to be it's not really going to be remembered in the way that they intend. And I think with the Oscars doing this, it's either a stunt or it's either a last ditch effort for those who want to perpetuate this type of agenda. But again, it's not going in for 4 years, which means that in the next 4 years, the industry could change drastically in the opposite direction again, in which case they don't have to acknowledge those rules. I mean, they can just say, nope, we're not doing that at any time. And
what are the Oscars doing?
That's a good question. Why don't we?
They're requiring Western films.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Script. Say it.
Yeah. Let's jump in the article. Well, they're basically requiring Western films to check certain boxes to qualify for Best Picture nominations.
So put it this way, Fatal. If you want to be considered for Best Picture of the Year, a movie like Dunkirk, where it was English soldiers against German and French were there too. If you do not have enough diversity in your film and behind the scenes, you will not be allowed to put your movie up for best.
You'll
it
not
won't be
qualify
considered
for a
for
nomination.
Best Picture.
Oh, they trolling,
Right.
man. They trolling, and at the same time, they cause a division. That's a part of the plan in this country, is to make people more divided and angry at each other. No, I'm serious, because when you watch the news and all this crap, all you see is just division. You don't never see nobody promoting unity on TV. So
Right.
I feel like this is a part of it. This is the thing about the Oscars. Haven't they been losing ratings for a few years?
Oh, for a long time.
Oh,
Are you
dropping, right?
serious?
I was
thought they
just
were
about to
dropping-
call you cancel culture.
Wait, did he ask for those arrangements, or what did you say, Fatal?
I said the Oscars have been the ratings have been bad for a few years, right? Hasn't the Oscars been doing bad in ratings?
The rating? Oh, the ratings. Sorry, I thought you said something else. Yeah, the ratings have been terrible.
Yeah.
They're horrible.
No, I thought you said something else, like arrangements. Like the Oscars made arrangements for these types of qualifications for years. No, this is the first of that. But yes, the ratings have been poor for a while. I remember the biggest turning point was after David Letterman hosted. The reaction to that was basically poor, even though I think he did a good job. A lot of people of the Academy of Motion Pictures did not like it.
have you noticed right before the Oscars happen, they always have some kind of stupid stuff going on? Like, wasn't some Kevin Hart stuff going on? Some Kevin Hart drama going on with the Oscars?
Well, he was selected as a host, and then cancel culture went after him because he made a joke 10, 15 years ago about his child. And, so he had to be removed from consideration. And then they just did the Oscars for the first time without a host.
Yep,
and
that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it was. It also didn't do well. But the Oscars have been kind of boring and poor for a while. And I was joking on the Midnight's Edge stream that maybe we should have a Test of Time awards. And I figured we can call them the Tots. You know, did you win a Tot? Are you a Totty? Like, what movies stand the test of time that people really enjoy and like and revere? And the best part is that you can go back as far as you want. So you can acknowledge movies that were made 70 years ago that still hold the test of time that people really enjoy and watch, and give them a nice, honorable highlight. Because right now it's just all knee-jerk reactions. Like, this was a great Oscar film. Like, the whole concept of an Oscar film has changed in definition over the past 30 years. The Oscars used to be, is it well-made? Is it entertaining? Is it somewhat popular? Is it fun? Does it really make us enjoy movies? Does it inspire people to get into the industry? But in more recent years, since a certain company started lobbying for Oscar nominations and awards, it then became about the auteur, the pretension, the prestige of a film. It wasn't so much about the merits of hard work and entertainment. It was about what sort of message does this do? Will this inspire to change the world as opposed to, have fun, So
I never gave a freak about the Oscars because all at the end of the day they're doing is circle jerking each other. I hate the Oscars.
Yeah, it's an office
I hate
Christmas
any
party.
type of award show. Yeah.
If you ever worked for an office and they have a Christmas party where they give out awards, that's exactly what the Oscars are.
I hate those. And you got to pretend you like everybody too? Nah, man, I hated those.
Right, and usually the movie that people love the most that year doesn't win. Like, look at Chariots of Fire. It was a decent movie, but what year was that? I want to say it beat like one of the Indiana Jones or one of the Star Wars.
You talking about
you know what I mean?
Dragon
Like, no. Chariots of Fire was a movie about guys running. That's the whole freaking movie. They
the
ran.
Olympics, yeah.
Yeah, it was boring as
81.
81, right?
Yeah.
What are you laughing at?
You.
Okay, Steven, why don't you read a little and we'll discuss, because I want to hear the criteria. I want people to hear it.
All right. Let's have some fun and laugh at it instead of getting angry, because we always get angry. We'll try to not get angry. We'll probably end up getting angry. Let's laugh at this shit. A publicity stunt or a huge step. Hollywood is divided on Oscars' new diversity rules. This is from Time by Andrew Chow. Ever since the Oscars So White campaign began 4 years ago, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences have been searching for innovative ways to champion inclusivity across the white and male-dominated film industry, including by diversifying its ranks. On Tuesday, they released the newest initiative, New Inclusive Standards for Films Seeking a Best Picture nomination at the Academy Awards. Starting in 2024, Best Picture hopefuls will have to meet a standards of 2 out of 4 broad groups of criteria laid out in a 1,000-word memo, representation on screen, addressed in Standard A, behind the camera, B, audience development, D, and pipelines for the young marginalized talent, C. The guidelines, which the Academy says were created to following a far-reaching consultation process throughout the industry, specifically draw attention to the underrepresented people of color, women, LGBTQ+, and people with disabilities. Devon Franklin, a film producer who co-led the initiative.
So wait a minute. So what they're saying is pretty much, if you don't hit how many of these categories, these check marks, once again, we're back to check marks, you won't even be considered. Even if your movie is the highest grossing, critically acclaimed, if you didn't have enough people with disabilities or enough people in a certain category or a certain alphabet group or a certain, minority, then you can't be considered. So like a movie like Parasite, it can't be considered then, right? Because that was an Asian film with all Asian people.
It's a foreign film.
No,
it's a foreign
international
film.
films are excluded. Yeah.
Even for Best Picture.
Yep.
Oh, crap.
They're excluded from
That's
checking
ridiculous.
these boxes and are still eligible for Best Picture, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
So this is just for American films. Okay.
Basically Western
right.
films. Films where the culture is primarily white with a lot of multicultural immigration.
Huh. Okay. All right.
Don Franklin, I'm sorry. Okay. Don Franklin, a film producer who co-led the initiative, said the interview that while the guidelines have been in the works for over a year, they were successfully voted through the Academy's Board of Governors in June in the wake of global protests following the death of George Floyd. It was a moment when the board said, we, as representatives of our constituents in the Academy, will be a lighthouse for the future. By dividing people further.
Wait, what does George Floyd have to do with movies?
I don't know. It's just
a lot of people in movies. A lot of people in movies do fentanyl.
I mean,
if they did, there'd be a lot more deaths in them.
I don't even know where to go.
But
No, I'm trying to find out where the parallel was.
I mean, I'm sure it's used to cut some of the stuff they do, but yeah,
it's virtue signaling. It's just saying we see what's going on in the news in our bubble, and we're going to make a change without really thinking about the effect it will have on the movie industry.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Now
it's turning it as a marketing ploy. So it's using a news story as advertisement for their own thing.
All right, the spin comes. The spin cometh. Perhaps predictably, the announcement received backlash on social media, particularly from right-wing circles. Why am I right-wing?
Of course.
Why am
We're
I
always
right-wing?
right-wing.
Why am I right-wing if I stand up against Cuties, which is promoting the what of kids? Why am I right-wing? Why am I right-wing if I stand up and I say, why are we not all being treated as equals? That's what we worked for my entire life. That's what the goal has been, is valuing someone on the merit of their character, not not cosmetics, like what they look like, where they come from. Why am I right-wing to point out that liberty is for all, and the more you isolate people, the more you segregate them, the more you make them check boxes, the more you turn them into tokens, then the less legitimate that statement is. Liberty is for everyone, right? Liberty for all.
Right.
I don't understand why it has to be always right wing. I am not right wing, and it's very offensive to me as someone who's been left wing most of my life. To just be put into a group because I speak out against something that I see as continuing old school segregationalist ideals, racist tendencies that I've been trying to fight in my generation my entire life. That I've been fighting against that culture, trying to put that behind us in perspective of where it was and who we are today and where we want to move to in the future. So I guess I'm triggered, but I'm offended by always being labeled right wing. I'm not right wing. I'm sick of that trope.
Well, and it's been.
You know what? My dad always told me this. He said, "Right wing, left wing, same bird."
So yeah, brother, absolutely, absolutely. That's what the 90s taught us. Yeah,
that is deep. That is deep, and it's the truth, man. It's the truth.
Your dad is a brilliant man.
Yeah, they're all all these politicians are all funded by the same multi-millionaires or billionaires.
Yep.
They're funded by the same companies, and they double down.
I'll call up for the same donations.
They all right. So they double down on both parties because no matter who's in power, they have strings that they can pull to ensure that policies are enacted that protect the wealthy, and that has always been for as long as I can remember.
Well, real quick, script up there. Let me ask you a question because I can't get past this foreign film thing. Do you think that's to protect Chinese investors? Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm a little too far.
Something's wrong with his internet.
Am I back?
Yeah,
my internet sucks.
Yeah,
I'm good now. Script, let me ask you this question because I can't get away from this foreign, the foreign films don't have to follow the rules. Is that to protect Chinese investors?
No,
because China's
that's just the fact that there's not as much of a diverse population in other countries compared to North America.
Hey,
but see, I don't agree with that.
That's a good question, Sport, because you got to consider.
India does not have a huge white population, but they have a massive film market, and some of them do qualify for Oscars.
But it's not just white. There are people of different ethnicities. They may look the same, but they're different ethnicities. Yes. Do they have to divide it up that much? That's what I'm saying. In China,
there are a lot more homogenized
there are millions
cultures.
of people that. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but they're in China. They're considered different regions. Consider themselves different, not Chinese, but different, pretty much people. They're not Chinese. Absolutely. They're from different sections of China. Are they going to have to? They don't
Cambodia,
have to enforce that
Laotian,
to give these people
Taiwanese,
right? So you don't have to give those people jobs. You know, I just keep thinking sports.
No, because those are cultural. Those are different. Hollywood does not look at not so much Hollywood, but these people who are doing this type of thing do not look at other countries with this through the same lens. So they think Asian is Asian, but white. Ooh, there's something with white going on. White there. White is dominant. White is power. White is everywhere. We need less white. That's probably what these guys are thinking. Right. And you can't compel other. I mean, as much as they want to compel North America to use less white people and have other people, like that's their goal. They're not looking for the best. They're looking to reduce one ethnicity in favor of another. You cannot have them reconcile that in a foreign country where there is a significantly less white population. So it's basically saying this is a rule primarily for Western cultures, and because all the other ethnicities throughout the rest of the world are far more different than white people, they get a pass.
Right. Okay. And that's kind of what I wanted to hear. I just wanted to understand that that's really what it is. You know, that's really what it is. It's taking a look at Western culture right now and saying, you're the bad ones. You need to fix the issue, which really the issue is what they're making us do is divide people up into different categories and say, you know, you have to have a Chinese disabled guy as a writer, not the best person, but someone who fits this category. What's the matter?
To a degree, that might be a case. That might be something that might be considered by some of these people. Now, conversely, I know that the majority of normal people in Hollywood, and there are a lot of them, scoff at
this. I'll try my best to hold back laughter.
Is it my mic? Is it my mic still?
No, toxic man flu, man.
No, man, it's what you said, man. It's what you said.
Well, I'm crazy. What are you going to do? Even Twix is polarizing. You know, polarized. Toxic man flu for $2. They divided it up. Now you either get a left package or a right package. Think about that.
What?
You want to read on
the same?
No, they're not. One's left, one's right. You get two of each now.
Oh boy. Many inside and outside these circles accuse the Academy of stifling creativity or promoting tokenism. Honestly, I never want to be hired for these reasons ever. The actor and director Justin Bateman wrote on Twitter, Christie Alley called it a disgrace to artists everywhere, though she later retweeted saying she does 100% behind diversity, inclusion, and tolerance, but opposed to Academy's methods. However, many others say the rules are far less erroneous than they're perceived to be, and that the films won't have to change their approach at all. Meanwhile, the rollout for the British Inclusion Initiative that inspired this one, I didn't even know about that, offers some clues about what the next few years in Hollywood could look like. Time talked to several industry insiders who were split on the impact of the new rules might have. They talked about the ways in which the film industry might change or stay the same going forward. I'm going to continue on.
Well, real quick, let me ask you a question about this then, Script Doctor. It may not affect foreign films, but will it affect small independent films that you have a certain small budget, you want to get the best of the best to work on your film. Now you have to hit the categories because you know by winning an award, it might make your career.
There is a workaround for this, and a smart independent film producer would probably say, I'm going to get the best of the best crew, and then I'm just going to make up jobs and titles that check these boxes that won't actually impact the quality of the film. It'll just drive up the budget a little bit, but it'll at least give them a pass. And I think that's probably what Hollywood is going to do, just kind of like their own subtle FU to this compulsion by saying, yeah, sure, we'll hire these people and we'll give them the job titles, but if they're not capable, they're not going to actually be working. We're just basically cutting them a free check, which they're not going to like, but if they want to get that award, if they want to get that recognition, they'll do it. However, there's more people in Hollywood that are scoffing at this idea than what we've seen online. And it comes down to the point where even in Hollywood, as important as Oscars are, they're important to a lot of the money holders of the bigger stuff. But we've had famous directors, we've had famous writers, we have famous actors all say the same thing, that Oscars are nice, but the quality of the film is what lasts longer. So I can see that this being a really bad power play where Hollywood, where the Oscars are going to do this, in which case someone's going to ask, well, if you're going to change the rules for qualifications by this, how do we know you're not going to change them to be more specific later on? In which case they'll just say, well, fine, then no movie what we make is going to qualify for Oscars, and then they're not going to have a show. Because that's what it is. It begets, the Oscars beget films, right? So if they don't make movies that would the Oscars want to have as qualifying, they're not going to have a show to reward films. So who's really has the power here? It's the studios. All they have to say is, great, then then your Oscar show is going to be 5 minutes. Good luck with that. Good luck selling airtime for 5 minutes.
Right. Scott, I figured that instead of going through that entire article,
it's the dumbest thing they've done. It's the easiest thing for the studios to avoid. We're already going to have next year's Oscar show be dwindling and almost nothing anyways, with only a handful of movies, which means that all those movies are going to win some award because they're the only options, which case you then negate the value of the Oscar. So yeah, I'm sorry, the Oscars you lose.
Wait,
you're not going to change the industry at this point.
Are you predicting that Bill and
Ted 3 could win an award, Sonic could win an award,
that would be awesome.
Harley Quinn could win an award?
No. See,
everything that came out this year could win an award.
What was that, final or fatal?
Everything was good until he said Harley Quinn. That movie was good.
Well, that's the sad truth. Everything that came out has a better shot of winning an award because there's literally zero competition.
New Mutants is going to win an award.
Oh my god!
New Mutants could win an award. I mean, technically, what's really going to happen is that Tenet will win all the awards because it's Christopher Nolan and it's an easy write-off to do that.
I got to go finish watching that movie. I checked out after 27 minutes and went and watched Bill and Ted.
Yeah,
Bill and Ted's a lot more fun. And the time travel makes more sense.
Yeah.
All right. So
I mean, I understand the time travel in Tenet, just like,
So, Scotty, I decided to bring up the actual rules themselves because I don't think Fatal knows what they are. And just in case anyone in the audience doesn't, there's no sense in reading that big-ass article without actually just going over what the rules are. So this is for
through the article. This is what I wanted to hear anyways. So let's read these.
Okay, for the 96 Oscars 2024, a film must meet 2 out of 4 of the following standards to be deemed eligible. Standard A is on-screen representation, themes, and narratives. To achieve Standard A, a film must meet one of the following criteria. Lead or significant supporting actors. At least one must be Asian, Hispanic, Latinx, Black, African American, Indigenous, Native American, Alaskan Native, Middle Eastern, North African, Native Hawaiian, or Pacific Islander, or other underrepresented race or minority. You know, the ones we couldn't remember, the ones we couldn't put on the umbrella term.
Or the ones that haven't existed yet.
Or the ones that haven't existed yet. Yes, so it's got to be one of those check marks. A2, general ensemble cast. At least 30% of all actors in secondary or more minor roles must be from at least 2 of the following underrepresented groups: women, racial or ethnic group, LGBTQ, or people with congenitive or physical disabilities who are deaf or hard of hearing.
Oh, that's what you want on a movie set. McKinney90 said something disturbing for $2. Even Cuties can win an award.
I don't even want to think about that.
In the foreign category, yes, because remember, it's not an American film; it's a French film.
French film, yeah.
Oh,
and it's not a Hollywood film; it's a French film that has just been distributed by Netflix.
You're right.
Whew. A3, main storyline subject matter. The main storyline theme or narrative of the film is centered on an underrepresented group: women, racial or ethnic, LGBTQ+, people with disabilities. Okay, that's
People with
one.
cognitive or physical disabilities.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, okay, so that's one. Got to meet one of these. Standard B, creative leadership and/or project team. To achieve Standard B, the film must meet one of the following criteria below: creative leadership and department heads, at least two of the following creative leadership positions and department heads: casting director, cinematographer, composer, costume designer, director, editor, hairstylist, makeup artist, producer, production designer, set decorator, sound, VFX supervisor, writer from one of the following groups: women, anybody who isn't white, anybody who isn't straight, and anybody who isn't anybody
mentally stable, which basically means that every casting director in Hollywood qualifies for two of those: women and women with cognitive and physical disabilities. That's a casting director.
At least
I'm not joking. That's kind of silly. They make dumb decisions, like ridiculously dumb decisions. Some are fantastic, and others are like, "What the hell happened here?"
At least one of the positions must belong to one of the following underrepresented racial or ethnic groups.
They trolling.
Yep. Anybody who isn't from Europe.
They are trolling, Fatal. They're trolling.
I don't know. I think a white person
hard,
can fall under the other underrepresented race or ethnicity, because if you aggregate the white population amongst the whole world, we are not the majority.
No.
But Asians are.
That's true.
B2, other key roles. At least 6 other team, crew, technical positions, such as production assistants, excluding production assistants, are from underrepresented racial or ethnic groups. These positions can include, but are not limited to, first aid, grapher, script supervisor, etc. B3, overall crew composition. At least 30% of the film's crew is from the following underrepresented groups: anybody who isn't straight,
30%. 30%. That's 30%. A big number. Damn.
Can't be straight white men, or if they are, they have to have a disability. Standard C, industry access and opportunities. To achieve Standard C, the film must meet both criteria below: paid apprenticeship and internship opportunities. The film's distribution or financing company is paid apprenticeships or internships to the following underrepresented groups and satisfy the criteria below: anybody who is not disabled, straight, white, or male. The majority studio distributions are required to have substantive, ongoing paid apprenticeships, internships, inclusive of underrepresented groups for the following departments: production development, physical production, post-production, music, VFX, acquisitions, business affairs, distribution, marketing, and publicity. Ooh, okay, no, fuck it. C2, training opportunities and skill for development. The film's production, distribution, and our financing company offers training and or work opportunities to below-the-line skill development to people from the following underrepresented groups: anyone but a non-disabled straight white man. Standard D. The studio and or film company has multiple in-house senior executives. Among the following underrepresented groups must include individuals from underrepresented racial or ethnic groups for their marketing, publicity, and or distribution. Women or a racial or ethnic group. Basically, anybody who's not a straight white male without a disability.
Basically.
Okay.
That it is.
I'm starting to catch something here. I don't know about you, Culture Casino, but I'm starting to catch like a little something going on here. Every category, I feel like there's something that they have in common. What do you think? Yeah, there's a pattern.
Like they're excluding someone. I don't know.
No. What do you think, Culture?
Allowed, apparently.
Oh, I think that anybody who has the appearance of my complexion is not welcome at the Oscars and or in any of these positions, even though I'm only 23%.
Fatal.
White.
Now is the time to get the Ninja movie made. Now's the time, man.
Yeah.
Dude, just I'll put on a tiara and just say that you're non-binary or something. They're gonna pick it right up.
Right.
But I'm sitting and just trying to soak all this in, and it's like I know they're trolling and they're using minorities. It's almost like they're using minorities to clickbait people into watching the Oscars. Am I right or wrong?
It's kind of looks like that. Also devaluing the contributions of anyone from any of these groups who are very competent at what they do.
you know, last time I checked, if somebody is talented,
Yes,
what they
very much so.
what they do, they're talented. It don't matter what race they are.
That's right.
But whenever you put race into it, it's bad. You're trolling. That's what you're doing. You're losing ratings, so you're using this as a marketing tactic to cause drama and get people to pay attention to the Oscars. That's all they're doing.
They're also
Well, you know what?
rage people who have legitimate concerns in their neighborhoods.
Well, but Fatal makes a good point. I mean, the Oscars dropped from, a high in 2019 of 29.6 million down to 23.6 million. So they lost 6 million viewers in 1 year. They used to pull in over 40 million viewers.
Yeah.
And now, if they pull in, around 30, that's good, but they're going to continue to lose people's interest, well, they have. I mean, as it's become less and less about the film actually being the best film, at least for Best Picture. I mean, there are a lot of other categories that they miss on regularly.
And this is the kicker right here. I'm gonna be the spokesperson for Black people real quick. Black people don't even watch the Oscars.
Yeah, well, I don't either.
What?
I don't either.
And guess what? We never will.
Wait a minute. You're saying you guys don't have parties? You guys don't get together?
Are you saying,
with
Fatal, that the
finger
only
food?
Black people that watch the Oscars are the ones that are nominated?
Basically,
That's probably right.
Wow.
As many Black people I've been around, and I'm around a lot of Black people, I've never heard somebody say, "Oh man, you gonna watch the Oscars tonight?" No, you don't watch the Oscars.
None of my friends do either.
No way, you're gonna watch Dolomite because I'm gonna watch Dolomite.
Dolomite is an awesome movie.
It's awesome.
Hey, you seen the Dolomite with Eddie Murphy?
Yes. Yeah, dude.
Oh man,
Love
you
it.
know what?
Love it.
That's a freaking inspirational movie, man.
Yeah. It really is. It really is.
I haven't seen that one. When
Eddie
was that
Murphy
made?
back to old form.
Oh,
and
God, a couple months ago, man.
It came out a few months back on Netflix.
Dolomite is My Name. That came out last year.
Last year.
I gotta check that
Okay, I
out.
only saw it a few months ago.
Yeah, it's good, man.
You canceled your Netflix, Scott.
Oh,
No,
you'll
I have
love
other
it, man.
ways.
I still got.
I have
mine.
other ways.
I
have a friend-
I know. I still got it, y'all. But I didn't watch Cuties. I promise you. I promise you, I didn't watch Cuties.
That's good.
No.
I didn't think you would.
No, man.
No, that would be rough.
Did we finish that article, or did the article finish me?
We finished. The article finished us.
I mean,
The article.
it's time. It's time. It's basically we already know.
time to
We
move
already
on.
know the narrative. Yeah, we already know the narrative. Hell with that.
So do we want to get angry with Netflix, or do we want to talk about The Boys? Anybody watch The Boys?
Heck yeah, that's
Season
one of my favorite. That's probably my favorite show on TV.
I've only seen the
right
first
now.
3 episodes of The Boys.
I've only the first 2.
Now you're gonna like this. You're gonna like this sport because my number one show at the time was Game of Thrones. Now The Boys.
Okay.
The Boys is not my number one show. I'm enjoying it thoroughly.
I am too. I'm enjoying it too.
Me
but
too,
people are you watching it too? Culture?
Yeah.
Oh, I was about to say, I watched season 1. I refuse to watch season 2 until it's finished. I can't deal with the frustration I'm going through.
Don't watch season 2 yet until you're done with season 1. It's really
I finished it, Fatal. No, what I'm saying is I don't want to watch season 2 until it's all out.
Oh,
Wait, I can't do it.
He's a binge watcher.
Oh,
I have to be, man. I have to be. Yeah, in order to get the media consumed in a. I only have finite time, guys. It's a tiny little bit of time.
I understand that. But to me, I think the best thing they could do is going back to an idea of weekly shows so that you have something to talk about.
No, I agree with you. Please don't misunderstand. It's just when it comes to shows like that, like for example, Game of Thrones, that because I was so into the show for so long, well, for 6 seasons anyway. I was so into it, I didn't want to wait. The next week. It was great to talk about with people. It was a fun show. There was a lot of naked stuff, and that's good. Yeah.
And they took the sex scenes to another level, man. on that
Yeah,
show.
they did. Yeah. HBO channeled their inner Skinamax, and we got Game of Thrones, at least the first 2 seasons. But anyway, so I guess my point is that back then it was frustrating enough. Now with as little time as I have, because I keep adding things to do, I have to binge stuff, or I will not go back to it. That's the problem. Is I'll watch like 1 or 2 episodes, and then because I was frustrated and waiting, I don't make it back to it, and so that's just kind of weird.
See, I'm the total opposite. If I don't watch it weekly, it'll take me 2 years to finish. It's still taking me time to finish The Witcher on Netflix. I'm still trying to finish that.
Yeah.
Well, I understand what you're saying too. If it's out all at once and I don't binge it right away, I'll do like 4 episodes and then wait 6 months to do the rest.
Yep.
But if it's a weekly show gives me a chance to really think about what just happened in that one episode and break it down and figure it out. And right now with The Boys, you need week by week because there's so much going on in every episode that you can miss. Episode 3, there was stuff that happened in there. You're like, oh, damn. And she is on fire. That's
this show, it reminds me of Game of Thrones only in the sense of every freaking character is interesting.
You think, right, and you also think anybody can die. Anybody could die. That's how I feel. Like almost anybody.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna say, man, like 15, 20 minutes into episode 2, when that person loses their head. I did not see that coming.
Me either.
Okay, this is the plot thread for the season. Nope, no, it's not the plot thread for the season.
And Steven, that's just like Game of Thrones. You didn't know who was going to die in the episode.
Yeah.
That was the beauty of early.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of early Game of Thrones. Early Game of Thrones was good. And I want to say what Trey is saying right here. I surprisingly like Stormfront. Me too, man. I didn't think I was going to. But the character, you had to see episode 3. So this is going to be a little spoiler for episode 3. The character takes a different turn. The character takes a turn that you didn't expect. You thought this character was going to be one way, like that progressive idea of a character, and it went completely a different direction.
I don't know.
That's what I love about the show.
I honestly didn't get that idea from her.
She was not progressive. She was there to make a point.
Yeah.
Well, when I'm saying progressive, I'm talking about the progressive left right now, which is a far left idea of using social media to get something across. But she's even worse than that. She's worse than that.
Well, I want to say something real quick. She uses social media in a far left way, but her talking points are of the opposite direction.
Yeah.
I like that.
She's very egalitarian. She doesn't care about gender.
You know that character that's like Snake Eyes? I really like him too. The one that don't say nothing.
Oh yeah.
Black Noir.
I think they're gonna do something real big with that character towards the end of the season.
I hope so.
You are very right. If you read the comic books, there's a huge reveal with that character.
I was just about to say that.
Well, okay, I haven't read the comic books, but he gives me that like a Batman Deathstroke, like that. That's what Black Noir is to me.
Like a mix between the two.
Yeah, like a mix between those two.
See, y'all guys have read the comics. See, I'm the type of person. See, I never read the boys' comics. Now, when I get done with the season, like season 2, I'll go back and read the comic. Like, how far is the comic ahead of the seasons?
Well, the definitely got over 80 issues.
Yeah, I was about to say it's definitely ahead. Yes.
Wow.
Oh God,
so So this is the boys is still going on, like the comic book version.
No, the comic's not over. They have another miniseries that they started.
So that's not part of the original set? Oh, I thought that was part of the original set.
80 comic books can be.
Well, the overall story's complete, but they've got all these other sub stories that they've been releasing over the last year. So
yeah. It's good. I've read.
There is an ending to it.
Into it.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I'm glad.
The comic is way more dark and disturbing than the show.
So it's not going to go George R. R. Martin on, or it's not going to go TV Game of Thrones on us. Like there is a defined ending.
Well, the series is not really following the comic at this point. It's doing its own thing.
Yeah, It's
All
changed
right, well, so
character,
much for that.
changed a couple things.
Well, you know what? I
But-
like what I've been given thus far. So
Same here. Same here.
Right.
So why don't we jump into this and read a little bit about the backlash?
sure. This is from Digital Spy by Laura Jane Turner on 11/9/2020. 11/9. Oh, 9/11. Whatever. The boys' portrayal of Stormfront isn't as progressive as one might think. What's
It's day, month, year. That's
I know.
yeah.
That's backwards to me.
Damn Europeans.
Yeah, that's backwards.
Well, it just makes order. You go from small to large. You know,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
grow.
no, it
no,
doesn't.
no. The other way.
This is
No, the other way.
America.
That's right.
This is
America.
America.
From medium to small to large. That's weird.
It's from medium to small to Chris Evans. We need to dig deeper into that plot twist. The Boys season 2, episodes 1-4. Spoilers follow. There's a fourth one out too.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it dropped
the
yesterday.
fourth one's real good.
Oh my
I haven't
god!
seen it yet.
All right,
It's going to be Steven, it's going to be every Friday starting yesterday.
I know.
And it was real good, dude.
All right. Well, I'm going to watch them both then after this. We knew that the Return of Amazon's subversive superhero show was going to bring along an attempt to integrate white supremacy. The 4 episodes, and it's become clear. It's almost, you know what? It's almost like a boogie monster now. You know, it's like the white supremacy thing. You know, it's almost like the monster in your closet. Just be careful. But no, go tuck in. I'll read you a
Mom, I
bedtime
have
story.
a white supremacist in my closet.
It's like, what the fuck is and I know they're out there, you know, like I know that they are out, they do exist, but it's such a small number of people. They hide in the mountains and eat fucking baked beans out of a can and clean their gun. Guys, don't fucking worry about those assholes. Sorry. The next 4 episodes, and it's become clear that the girl Stormfront is the means by which these waters have been waded into, despite being billed as the first voice, as the voice of female empowerment. We thought the 7 needed. The final moments of episode 3 and the brutal murder of Kumiko's long-lost brother Kenji just gives us more of a rounded picture of who Stormfront is. While it was a surprise to the audience, we don't want to turn phrases such as "dropped the mask" or "show her true nature" to describe this game-changing moment. It is entirely possible for a person to present as good in one aspect, yet still be horrendous person at the core. To put it bluntly, those advocating for women's rights can still be deeply racist. It is the truth already known by Black women and those from Asian and other minority ethnic backgrounds who have often been excluded from feminist spaces. The same can be said for transgender women who are routinely disregarded by some factions. What the hell does any of this matter about? What the hell's being
This is the problem. Okay, you had a character that people on a certain side of the social and political line felt like was their character. Because I know what you're saying, Script. I understand you're saying she sounded more she's militant, but she was using the social media to get her.
No, that's not what I was saying at all.
Oh, then I'll shut up and tell me.
I wasn't saying she sounded militant. I was saying she was sounding like someone egalitarian. She did not care about men or women. She actually made a statement. What does it matter what the genitals are? That is not a point on the extreme left. That's more of a centrist point. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to frame her as the opposition and then say, well, they're just saying that because they're really racist. That's what they're doing with this character.
Wow.
So they're trying to say some of the talking points that we say were, what does it matter if you're a man or a woman, so long as you're the best at what you do? But they're adding on the thing, especially if you're white. Like, that's what they're trying to say.
Yeah, but that's not the racist.
They're trying to frame that image.
Yeah, but that's not what they're talking about. What she did. That's not what they're hitting at. I mean,
that's exactly what she is as a character. That's what they're talking about. She makes a racist remark because she's a white supremacist, but she's saying she's egalitarian. But they're saying everyone who says those egalitarians is secretly a white supremacist.
Okay. All right.
So if you or I say, what does it matter that you're? Yeah, that's what they're saying.
My head
got
hurts.
you now, brother.
My head hurts. Okay. Basically, feminism has long had an intersectionality problem, and it's condemnable to see this mirrored on screen. I don't understand what any of this has to do with anything about this character. Okay. It would be remiss at this point to continue to label Stormfront a feminist. But by presenting this duality on screen, The Boys is following its pattern of interrogating the very genre it sits within. There's a comment on the clearly distinguishable good versus evil trope here, and The Boys showrunner Eric Kukrip has explained that Stormfront's positive first impression was completely intentional. Hate doesn't come at you with a big neon sign that says, "Hey, we're hate." They come at you in a pretty insidious and attractive packages, he told The Wrap in a recent interview. We wanted a character that when you first met her, you'd be like, oh, wow, what a free thinker. She's so attractive and interesting. And then you sort of reveal that she's peddling the same shit that people have been peddling for 1,000 years. What? Wait. Hold on. Wait. So pointing out that we're all equal and it doesn't matter what your genitals are, like Script was saying earlier about that quote, which is a great quote.
Yep.
Pointing that out is perpetuating and peddling things that have been going on for years since men truly were in power. Okay, I don't understand.
They're saying that's a veneer. She's saying that line is a veneer to her real white supremacist agenda.
Right.
So it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, so long as you're white. That's the point.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
You really got to watch the episodes.
I guess I got to watch the episode. This introduction of nuance is vital and comes at a complicated conversations such as those around racism and structures of white supremacy. But what hasn't quite landed so far is the show's execution of it. The aforementioned moment at the very end of episode 3 saw Stormfront relentlessly and violently chasing Kimiko and Kenji. As part of the pursuit, she ransacked the apartment block filled with families, and Stormfront didn't hesitate to murder every single person of color that she came across. In what's been dubbed a big twist, she uttered a racial slur at Kenji before brutally ending his life. The way this was handled on screen was clumsy. Playing and the reveals of Stormfront's racism is a little more than a plot device for shock value. Worse still, it could have been triggering for some viewers watching at home without warning. Well, I mean, the whole show's supposed to be triggering, isn't it? That's kind of like the
right. Let's just stop there for a second. I actually thought that was a perfect way to show her dark side, that she went into that apartment knowing that no one could see her, no one can film her, and she let out the demon within. And then when she was on that rooftop holding his neck after breaking his arms and just like, look at me while I take the life from you. This is my favorite part. You got to see the true character's evil within. Now to try to combine it together that, doesn't matter you're man, white, man or woman, as long as you're white. The problem with the whole thing is they actually gave us an interesting character that is a superhero, or quotes, that has, or what would happen if a superhero can disguise themselves, or actually a racist can disguise themselves as a superhero, a white supremacist as a superhero, and actually play it off well.
Don't we have Joe Biden?
Is he a superhero?
I don't think he's a superhero. He might be wetting himself, but I don't think he's a superhero. I found it interesting that
I heard he's a therapist. That's dangerous.
He is a therapist, or was it something else?
The spelling says therapist. They're missing a capital somewhere for something else.
They missed a capital definitely somewhere else. The one thing I found interesting is how well she has been able to hide this and use social media to get her message across without it being in your face racist.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She's a great character.
I need to watch episode 3 and 4, so I'm going to bow out.
You have to.
You tell me when to read, I'll read.
I will. One of my favorite parts too is where she's telling, and I'm sorry if I'm spoiling it for people, but that's what we do here. The part I really enjoyed too was when she's like, she's talking to Homelander and Homelander, she's like, you want people to love you. You might have, 50 million people that love you. I have 1 million soldiers. She is radicalizing people without them realizing they're being radicalized. And I think that's a very interesting avenue to go down because it's happening in society today. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great point, and it's a great little dichotomy because for all the bad stuff that you see the other heroes do of the 7, they always have this ability to show you one that takes it up another notch, and I really like the fact that we get to see, a character that says the right things, says one thing, does another, which is always really a lot of fun, but just on 2 really interesting extremes, like. Oh, the most rational person of the 7 is doing all this crazy stuff. That's cool and interesting, and I like how they're going with that. But I mean, I also kind of see what I don't know the exact creative force behind this, but I kind of see what that creative force is doing with this type of presenting of this character by saying, hey, all the people that object to and criticize us, they're saying they don't care about X, Y, and Z. So we'll have the character say those same talking points, and then we'll reveal that they're this. And hopefully maybe people will grasp that when they see the counter argument about the quality of work in film and television and books and other forms of literature, and discredit them because, they're just really like this because that's proving our point.
Right. But so
that's what I think.
So I'm looking at it from the character. I think you're absolutely right. That's what they're hoping to get out of it. Do you think that's what's coming across? See, I take it as this is what they're telling, they want us to think, if someone talks this way, they're really this, they're an ist, they're an ism. But what I'm saying is that they're almost showing their hand as they're writing this. They're showing their hand. They're writing this character in a way that makes
yes, they are.
They're like, this is obvious. It's obvious that it's them wanting us to think this. And I thought, I don't know, I find the character interesting, but I also see what they're trying to do. And it's annoying as hell in some ways, but the actress is so good.
They're doing both. They're doing both at the same time. Yeah.
Right. And I don't feel like this actress she's going on in an explanation and apology tour. I think that's ridiculous. She's doing what they wrote for her.
And I find that no. I mean, she's not actually believing in this stuff. So.
Right. Yeah. All right, man. Read on, my friend.
No, she's playing a role, and if the fact is the audience loves to hate her, she's doing a good job.
Right. You could read, Stephen.
Right on. And shout out to Gary in the chat. Gary, thank you so much for promoting my Ninja comic. I really appreciate that.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. That is badass.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's sweet.
Yeah, he been shouting it out a few times on his live streams. And Gary, hey man, I'm forever in your debt, man. Thank you so much.
Dude, we rise together. That's beautiful. Hail the patron saint of the 4th wave. Okay, moving forward. The same blueprint was followed in episode 4 when a flashback scene depicted the murder of an innocent black man in full view of his young sister at the hands of 70s Soup Liberty, later revealed to be Stormfront. The flaw in the storytelling is born from the fact that the white characters are being centered, while those on the receiving end have very little, if any, character development or agency. The victims are a side note or a consequence in their own stories. Instead, Stormfront and, to a lesser extent, Homelander are steering this particular aspect of the plot, pushing the narrative forward from their perspectives. Fundamentally, can you interrogate racism in a way that does justice by looking at it, however critically, through the eyes of a white supremacist? Aya Cash, who plays the role of Stormfront, has defended the scene in episode 3. She argued that it would do a disservice to the trauma that people suffer hearing those things all the time, for the script not to have fully leaned into her character's beliefs in a way that she would behave. It's in service to a bigger conversation, she said. This could be a signal that The Boys Season 2 will build on the foundation that's been laid so far and start to push harder against its racist central characters. While it wouldn't have necessarily been a consideration during filming, The Boys Season 2 is airing at a time when conversations around racism are at the utmost importance. The Black Lives Matter movement has been reignited following the killing of George Floyd, which sparked widespread protest against police brutality and renewed conversations about how prevalent racism is in different areas of society. The pandemic has also further highlighted socioeconomic disparities and systemic racism, and very real and tragic consequences for Black, Asian, and minority ethnic people in particular. Let's also not overlook the fact that the virus-specific racism is being targeted at East Asian communities too. You might be wondering what all this has to do with... Go ahead.
Right. No, finish that part there. Part there. I'm sorry.
It's all right. You might be wondering why, what all this has to do with a superhero show, but as we've argued before, entertainment does not exist within a vacuum. When done right, it can also comment on and facilitate real-world discussion. Well, I mean, you can argue that, but I think Star Trek can say something different. The boys made no secret of its desire to feed the discourse within showrunner I meant current Star Trek. With showrunner Eric Kripke stating that he wanted to explore the issue of white nationalism because of how it parents itself in today's modern world, namely festering in forums online. The boogeyman jumps out of the closet. Do you want me to stop here?
Yeah, stop there. So what I want to know what people thought about that last part. Script, I know you probably, because you've watched it and you're very knowledgeable about what's going on with this. What did you think about that?
I don't have much to think about that part of the article.
This article is ridiculous. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, they're taking right there. They're taking their agenda and trying to spoon feed it to the masses. So I don't know if that's the creators. I don't know if that's the studio. I don't know if that's just this writer, but everything always has to bleed back into what's going on right now in society. No, this was filmed prior to the coup happening. This was filmed, I believe, right? This was
filmed in August and September, October.
Of this year or of last year, right? Last year.
Yeah.
Right. So, but yet they're trying to fit the narrative that it is dealing with all the issues that have happened in 2020. And I'm so sick and tired of
they must
this
have a
narrative
crystal ball.
being pushed. Exactly. A crystal ball. I'm so sick and tired of the narrative being pushed that they had this crystal ball. They knew this was coming and they were so ahead of the time. And thank God we have stuff like this to teach everyone that white man bad. Because that's what I got from that.
You're evil. You're evil, Scott. You're evil internet. This is God. All right. Stormfront is all about her social media channels, building a following that will hang on her every word. Disturbingly, she told Homelander, who wants everyone in the palm of his hand, that her strategy was to whip up anger and outrage to exploit it for power. You don't need to win them all over, she says. You just need a portion of the people really effing pissed off. Sound familiar? The boys could have something very meaningful to add to the TV landscape and world discussion. We just are hoping that the season 2 will go on and take a little more care of the narrative it uses to frame the message. All right, I got to see these episodes. I don't have anything to add to this conversation. I haven't seen those last 2 episodes, so
well, you know what? Next week, I want you to watch it, and I want to get your at the beginning of the show next week. I want to hear what you think about what you just read.
All right, because I don't know if this is overblown. Like, I don't know if this was well done. Like, I kind of trust the boys, and from what I've witnessed so far, I kind of trust the people making this show to do their thing. So yeah, I'm gonna wait to see what I think of it.
Right. It's what they look. People are reading into a superhero show, which it does. It touches on different ideas. What if a superhero grew up in a vacuum? You get Homelander. What happens if one was corn-fed and raised by her mother to be like a pageant queen? You get Starlight. So there's these different ideas that they're doing, and I enjoy that. But now to force a narrative that wasn't even in the world at the moment going on to a show that was filmed last year, I don't think she should be speaking out about it when it had nothing to do with that, but just talking about this character that is hiding her white supremacist behind a movement she's trying to do of bringing down the corporate overlords. Maybe I'm missing the point, but that's what I get from it.
Can we just go back for a moment to a happier time when Christie was here?
Yeah, let's get back to here.
And yeah, can we talk about
That's America's dong?
Can we talk about
That's America's dong? How do you feel about Chris Evans' dong being out there, Steven?
Something I didn't need to see, but apparently the ladies are happy, and if it makes the women happy.
I haven't seen it, so I'm good.
No comparison needed.
Well, I mean, yeah. All right. So anyways, Jayne Theory says if they want to talk about racism, it didn't start this year. But I don't think this is the way to go about it. The only racists that matters in the show are soups and normies. All right.
Gilkman.
All right.
What up, Thomas?
Only you, Thomas. Only you.
Thomas hate me, but he know he love me because I love you and I hate you at the same time.
Wow.
So do we want to end it with? Do we want to end it with anger, Steven?
No,
what would Jayne?
Jayne, I didn't need to see it. I haven't seen it. I'm sure you've seen it while you were drinking your pumpkin spice latte. I know you've probably.
Jayne saw it. She saw it.
No, Jayne saw it.
Why do you think Christie got off the live stream so fast?
Because
man, she was booking it. She was headed. She was headed to.
And she was kind of mad as for it because she was like, you know what? You just dragged me onto the stream. I got things to do, sir. Can I get off this stream, please?
And she's the one that told me she wasn't going to be on the stream, but yet jumped on the stream to talk about the Captain America's dong to get off the stream. So
crazy stuff, man.
Crazy stuff.
That's what I don't understand. I've been on Instagram before. And now, before you post a picture, Instagram is going to show you everything on your phone.
Uh-huh.
So how did you slip up and do that? That wasn't a slip up.
He wanted his dong shown.
Marvel called him up. Disney called him up. Look here. DC is killing it this year. You need to take the shine off of them, the spotlight off of them. Put the pics up now.
Makes sense, buddy.
Release the foreskin.
Yeah. Did you watch any of the fandom?
He said release the foreskin.
Hey, Fatal, did you watch any of that DC fandom?
Was there at least an interesting pose with it? Or is it just him standing neutral?
No, actually, he's sitting on his couch, it looks like. And it's just like laying in his lap. So,
man.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Did he didn't pose? Was he just taking a dong shot?
No,
So
it is dong. It's dong across leg in comparison to his thigh. Now, because it's forced perspective, it might be, it might not be that might not be as big as it might not be that big,
Okay.
If Disney do anything, it's forced.
Its size might be thinner than what they were in the movie.
Does it look like it could possibly have come from Wakanda?
Wow.
Wow. I don't want to be canceled right now. I'd like to go 1 week without that. That'd be kind of cool.
Is there anything? Well, wait a minute. Is there anything else in the picture that we can use mathematically to figure out the size?
I have a visual aid. I have a visual aid.
Okay.
This isn't even the first one. This one was just the easiest one for me to grab.
So there you go.
You got to give me a little more time, just a second longer. So we're talking.
That's what you said. No, just kidding.
Have you been talking to my wife? Anyways, let's see. Do we want to try to just fit in real quick that last screw Netflix? We don't even have to look at the article. I just want to ask this question. Well, go ahead.
Oh no! If you want to do that, because actually, I wanted to look at something that might make us laugh, just a little bit.
Okay, please. You know what? Let's laugh.
I'd
rather laugh. I'm so sick and tired of cuties. I just have to say, listen. I have to say the word cuties a couple times because it's in my title. So Netflix, you suck. Take down cuties. You're losing billions of dollars. Go screw yourself. Okay, let's see what you got here.
I agree, because why are they being so stubborn in that like this is the greatest thing ever?
That's what I don't understand. Fatal J, that's the question I was going to ask. Like, why are they fighting this so bad when they're losing so much money in stocks. Now, I don't know stocks that well, but the number keeps dropping. People are outraged on both sides of the line. Why defend this film that hard when you could lose a lot more by just like, is it not wanting to bend the knee to the fans, or is it, what is it? Does anybody have an idea before we go to still no pop-up ads?
Put the article down.
What?
We'll talk for a second.
All right, hold on.
Look, all right, the question.
What do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah.
God, I think we covered that video earlier. We couldn't even get through 3 minutes of it. I think that this is. I think that I forgot the question you asked, but I'm just going to say that this is completely disgusting. Shouldn't even have happened. I don't know how this happened. I don't know how it got through so many adults and actually made it to production and this thing was put together. I don't know how parents said yes to this. I don't know how somebody at Netflix said that this is okay. We should put this on our platform. I don't see how there are people out there right now, like people that we have been contentious with, critical of, like Scott Mendelson, but someone who I've also laughed at, you know what I mean? Defending this, right? Like I kind of knew who Scott was. All right, I think he's a professional troll. I think he just wants to, he's just coming at the fans because he's making cheddar, being paid to do it. But this is a step
came
too
after
far.
my friend, Miss Martin Muses.
Yeah, yes, she did. When you are promoting something like this, all right, this is beyond left and right BS. All right, this is beyond social racial divides, whether they are real or projected by people that you hang out with or yourself. This is beyond any of that. This is about something that should not exist, something we should all stand against as adults, as uncles, as brothers, as mothers, as fathers, as sisters, as cousins. We should all stand against. If you have the kind of inclination that would make you be like the guy on that video we saw earlier, Mr. Girl, look at this and say that he was aroused by it, you have a disorder. You need to be treated. This is not something that should be divisive at all. This is a unifying topic that all of us should be together on. And what the people that are actually defending this, what they are showing me is that they are either too politically or socially polarized, or they are cowards who would rather toe a line and would rather reinforce a narrative that normalizes something like this than stand up and have something constructive to give to this conversation, which should be, do not let this be normalized. I don't want those sickos that went to Epstein's Island living out in Hollywood. I don't want those sickos in politics that were going to Epstein's. I don't want those types of people to normalize something so that when they finally get caught up, because they're getting caught up now, and when they finally get exposed, they haven't conditioned audiences. They haven't conditioned the people to think that this is an excusable behavior. It is not an excusable behavior. Protect and save our children. All right, I'm done. I'll start cursing. I'm done.
Fatal, have you talked about Cuties at all? What's your feelings on it?
I talked about it on John Talk Show, and it's just sad, man. It's sad that we have content out there like that, and you have some people that's actually standing behind this crowd, and it just makes me believe that these rich, disgusting, filthy scum of people like Jeffrey Epstein, and let me dare say it, the freaking Clintons, because they were hanging around him too, are into this type of stuff, promoting this stuff. And when you start seeing this type of stuff on TV, what is the word I'm looking for? What are they trying to do to your brain? They're trying
desensitize.
Desensitize. They're trying to desensitize you to pedophilia.
Yep.
That's what they're doing.
You're absolutely right, man.
It always starts in TV, movies, and cartoons. That's what they do. It's a form of propaganda in a way. It's a form of propaganda. You got it right. Yes, sir.
It is.
It's social engineering.
I was social engineering. Yeah, I worked with that type of people, the pedophiles, the rapists. I worked with them in a lockdown facility for almost 4 years. And these guys are some of the worst. They are the worst people I've ever met. I've worked in prisons before. When prisoners want to take you out because that you've done things to children, you're the worst in the worst. And they think they're the victims. They think that everybody else is thinking wrong. And when you allow something like this to be normalized, someone who may have those thoughts but never act on them now feels more emboldened to act on it because, well, you know, they're showing it on TV. They're showing me little girls. They're telling me I should go ahead and do this. And that's the problem. When you normalize it, you open up the door to allowing these people to feed their fantasy. And only thing that does is hurt our children.
If you are down with Cuties, that means you're down with child trafficking. And if you're down with child trafficking, you should die. You should die.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you, man.
If you mess with an innocent child, you're messing their lives up forever. It's a lot of people who committed suicide because they was touched and fondled with because they was kids. When they was kids, you got kids that was fondled with, and now people grown up to be depression, or they go up to murder people. Yeah, all because a lot of people because you mess with that kid sexually.
Yeah, a lot of kids that grow up with drug addiction, with mental health issues, were abused when they were little. I'm not scared to say I was, because men shouldn't be scared to say it happened to them.
There's a lot of men who have, and they don't talk about it.
Well, because you feel like you feel like even though you were 6 years old, you should have been able to stop it. Well, guess what? You're a 6-year-old.
But Stuart, look what that do to a man, though. It make us feel like if I tell somebody this, I'm weak. You see what that do to you mentally? Exactly.
And you hide that. So what do? You numb it with drugs and alcohol. You numb it with sex with other people. You numb it with whatever works until you can't take it anymore. And you either die, go to jail, go to institution, or get clean, you know? So you have to learn how to deal with these things, but this shit should never happen to children. And if we normalize it.
And this is what kills me about Netflix. Back to the Future had a scene where Marty opened up the book and said, "Ooh la la," and they took that part out of the grown woman on the magazine. They took that part out. But then you're going to promote an entire movie with 11-year-old girls with makeup and dancing sexually and being rebellious to their parents? What kind of network is this?
Right.
You know what, man? That is well said. I didn't even think about that. They have been taking parts out of movies. They've been censoring other adult movies, but they allow this shit, and then they double down and back it even more after people from both sides are coming out against it.
That's kind of the point I was making earlier on our other show. You know, it was that you've got this group of people that talk about promoting all of these false virtues, standing on all these laurels of like diversity and inclusion and all this, and then this comes along. Right, an evil that we can all point to, all of us across the board, no matter who we sleep with, what we identify as, where we come from. We should all be able to point at that one thing and say that's evil. And you still have people across lines, across those polarizing lines that they've created, defending this. I mean, I think this pretty much is a scope of who the real villains are. Who are the real villains?
Yes,
the people that are defending this.
Yes. And if you try to mask it with the idea of art, but yet you're willing to censor real art, and you're willing to censor adult art, but then you allow this to happen, that makes no sense to me either.
Yes, Jayne Theory, like all the pronouns should agree on this.
All the pronouns. She's absolutely. I'm highlighting that. I'm losing my voice. Holy crap. Culture or script? You guys have anything to say on this before we laugh?
Well, I mean,
I do. I think this film is reprehensible. Oh, go ahead, Culture. I'll finish it off after.
Well, no, please, go ahead. I'll wait. I'm.
He's working. He's always working.
Well, I think. Okay, so I think that this film has a lot of reprehensible aspects to it. I think the exploitation of children in this manner is horrible because, frankly, children are going to be exploited as actors anyways, but they shouldn't. This crosses a line, in my opinion. It's indefensible the way it's shot, the way it's approached. It's completely socially inept because a lot of the people involved in this think this is like funny and that this is like comedy from their culture in France, and it just doesn't land because they don't understand what's going on with it. It's not like Good Boys, where like these kids are like discovering porn and kissing girls and all that stuff and sexual things of the nature in an innocent point of view. It's far beyond that. But at the same time, and this is definitely not an offense, but I don't want to cross over into the line of conjecture where we assume that there is a promotion of something that there's not really evidence for. There's disgusting elements into it. There's scenes where like a girl plays with a used condom, which is gross, and there's no reason to do that in there. But again, that's them missing the possibility for a joke, I think. But like, it's horrible. Why would you make a little 11-year-old child do that? Why would you film body parts of real 11-year-old girls dancing or doing all these other things? Yeah. If anything, this is more like a movie that would be tempting to someone of a disturbed nature who wants to do things to a child, because I've read the script. I don't recall reading a character that is an adult male that wants to fornicate with any of these children. So I'm just saying but like, I wouldn't be surprised if that was an idea that was thrown into this film with the way that they're doing it. It's just very disturbing, and it bothers me that this went too far. And on top of that too, I want to know what the audition process was for this, because typically when you're auditioning for kids, especially if they're doing like a dance movie, they don't have them do the dance that they're going to do in the movie. They just say, hey, can you keep beat? Can come in with your own dance that you want to do. And then if they're good at that, they'll say, okay, we're going to choreograph this. And then you do that, in which case, if I were a parent, I'd be like, I better know what the hell that dance is. If my kid is telling me, hey, they want me to do this, I would be in there immediately like, no, you're not doing this. Like, I want to know the full context. I want to know why it's there, why you're doing this.
Who is these
because I don't feel like my 11-year-old child should be dressed in shitty clothes and shaking their rear end in front of people.
Yeah, who is their parents?
Like, I'd rather her do that when she's 46 and very desperate for a man. Well, the thing is, like, again, the audition process typically for film is that you don't actually say, hey, we're doing it. It's not like, I guess, the adult film industry where they have the one audition and actually have sex. Okay. And when you're doing something with a kid or something, it's like you come in, you read a page, you have a little conversation, your parents are usually in the room, and then you go on about your day. That's about it. Like, they don't say, come in here and be like, okay, we need you to dress in a skippy thing. We need you to twerk. We know you're 11. We don't care. Like, they don't say that, because that's just creepy, and parents would be immediately upset with that. Or at least I think they should be. If they're not, we got a whole nother issue going on.
You would hope so.
But I also don't want to cross into conjecture. I don't want to make speculations on things yet. I would rather attack it for what it actually is, because it's indefensible. And the moment you try to speculate and bring in conjecture, then you start feeding those that defend it, saying, oh, well, you're just making this up because it's not actually there. Because they're going to use the specifics and try and turn our view of facts against us when we start saying, oh, it's Epstein this, it's blah, blah, that. Because I think the content itself speaks for itself, and we don't have to go to that route, because I think the moment you do, you then they can argue that they can discredit us because we're just making up lies. And I don't want to do that. I want to say that, listen, Netflix made a very dumb decision to buy and distribute this movie. Mm-hmm. They made a terrible decision to buy and distribute this movie, and the people who have made it really do have to be looked at under scrutiny for why they made this film and why they think it's justifiable. And I want to hear from the kids how they felt doing this film, and if they understand it, and how they think they're going to feel as they get older, because I want to hear from the kids. I think we should listen to these children and see what they have to say, because there's something they still did it, right? They still did it.
Right, that's what
I want to hear a
scares
child say, yes, I didn't like doing this, but my parents told me I had to. And if that's the case, we need to address that.
Script. That's one thing that scares me. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
We're not hearing much from the filmmakers or the cast, right? So, and I want to hear from them.
Right. What bothers me is that by making this movie and watching that guy we watched on the other, I won't even give his name out because he's a piece of shit. The guy we watched on Rogue Entertainment, he made a valid point. People are using this film to pleasure themselves too, these sick people. And now you put a target on these little girls, because now they are fantasies of these men or women, fantasies of theirs. So you actually, in a way, put these kids in danger by making a movie like this, by putting these kids in these different sexual positions and, sexual situations. And that
You get a
scares me
Jodie
too for
Foster
these children.
effect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's the argument.
Exactly.
Yeah, you risk a Jodie Foster effect.
Yeah, and we were just talking about that earlier about, we didn't bring up the whole thing with Jodie Foster. I don't think they knew about that, but look what happened with her. Look what I'm blanking on his name. Mark Chapman did. What's his whole name? Shit. Whatever.
Mark David.
Thank you. Mark David Chapman did because he was infatuated with Jodie Foster. Trying to get her attention.
What do you guys think is going to happen in the future with Netflix? Like, yes, they've been losing a lot of stock, but do you think they're going to do some kind of marketing plan where they, I don't know, put out a awesome movie from the theaters or something to kind of make people forget? Do you think they're going to do some kind of thing like that? Like maybe they'll drop, let's say, Tenet.
Well, I think people who are involved in Cobra Kai are really reconsidering their deal now.
I am disgusted that Cobra Kai is on Netflix because I won't use Netflix again. And I didn't finish. What?
Before this,
remember, no other show really knows what's going to be on Netflix. They have no involvement in this other than being a victim now.
No. They're a victim. They're all victims.
Yeah,
exactly. But what I'm saying is,
it was being praised that it was going from on Netflix. Cobra Kai was, it's a really good show. It's freaking
excellent.
But
it's
now,
excellent.
Well, just like Scott's feelings on this, will other shows, other programs get that stink on them from this being allowed to be put out there? And as far as what Vital J was saying, I think that they need to do something. They're in dire need of it. I don't know how many people are in the upper echelons of Netflix that are woke or to capitulate to this type of ideology, but I think that will be dependent upon whether or not they actually quadruple down, or they obviously their stocks are going down the shitter right now. So I don't know. I think
they need to listen to their customers.
Yes, they need to listen to their customers. Thank you very much. But it's
a great novel idea.
If they don't, I think that you're going to see the value of Netflix reduce significantly and stay there for a while, at least until people are forgotten or some type of amends have been made. Some kind of but taking it off their platform, and I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know. That's where I'm at.
I want to hear what Culture. Yeah, no, don't be sorry. I want to hear what Culture Casino has to say, but let me read these two super chats real quick from a little channel called Nerdrotic for 25 American pesos. Great panel tonight. What's that?
I think he's doing a comic book shop.
I've heard that. I heard he loves San Francisco.
6 seconds behind us now again.
Am I son of a bitch?
Yeah, you are.
All right, all right, say one and then I'll talk.
1.
Go. Son of a bitch. All right, for the Commodore 64 and Makini 90. We're going to end this soon anyways. For $10, Makini 90 says, people can make an excuse on that. 11 is when puberty hits in most preteens, and you can't deny a preteen curiosity in figuring it out, but this is more sexualized and goes against the intent. Look, kids are kids. They're going to do things, but we do not have to glorify it. We don't have to.
When I was 10, 11, and 12, when I was 10, 11, like when I was 10, 11, and 12, the girls would always jump into the men's washroom while we were trying to go to use it, just because they wanted to tease us or whatever. There's always that exploration, but it's nowhere near on the gratuitous level that this movie has been presenting.
Right. Washroom. And you're so Canadian.
Well, you don't bathe in a public washroom, and if you do, I feel sorry for you. There's no bathtub in there, so it's a washroom.
Who the hell calls it a washroom? I've never heard of it. It's a restroom. You rest in there while you take a shit.
Restroom is also appropriate, yes.
Okay. But let's hear Culture Casino. What do you have about what is your feelings on the Netflix? On the Netflix.
Well, Netflix has their own issues for sure. I mean, definitely. This particular project, film, whatever you want to call it, is reprehensible is probably the right word. I heard that used multiple times. Indefensible is another word. That because I don't understand how people can come out of the woodwork and support this film. I mean, the IMDb got caught changing the parental guidance for the film early on from severe to, mild. I mean, severe, big word, like hazardous, like,
don't let your kids watch this, so they might be
toxic.
indoctrinated into thinking this behavior is acceptable.
Right, to mild, mild salsa, I mean, it way different things. So it's one of those. I've been so upset about this for so many days now. I just get lost in my thoughts, but it's disgusting. I'm frustrated that that Netflix had a lot of people in a decision-making positions that decided to purchase this project. I mean, they have plenty of content. This is not something they had to go out and buy. They aren't starving for it. They aren't some other streaming service. They are one of the largest employers of actors and directors and other showrunner type people in the world. So why would you pick up this project if you just watched 8 minutes of it? Especially the gyration scene that I can't even believe, where the camera is literally focusing on genital areas, and I understand that people say, well, she didn't try to murder her friend on the way to the dance competition, towards the end of the movie. And I'm like, she pushed the girl in the water, not knowing 100% for sure, or maybe she did, that she could or could not swim, and then left her clinging to a buoy. Okay. So just assuming that she's not going to get tired and, drown. I mean, there's a lot of problems with this film, outside of just the blatant, child exploitation, and I don't understand. I don't understand how it gets made. The lady that created it not only seems to have identified with the children from her words, not mine, but it was able to instruct them, to move them along the path to get them to perform these lewd adult acts. That's a problem in and of itself. And I mean, if she's telling us her story, she's contributing to these kids' problems later on in life. I mean, and they're going to get this movie's going to follow them around the rest of their life, and especially now that stigma is out there, especially in this country.
Yeah, we ain't even thinking about the little girls. You're right.
Yeah, well, that's what they're going to have issues. This is going to be the movie they're going to be remembered for a while, right?
Yeah, and this isn't
why I think we should hear from them now, so that we can kind of get ahead of this and if they need help, they should get the help.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't Taxi Driver. This is not. It's not the same. A lot of people are trying to draw parallels, and I understand why.
Not even close. Not even close.
It's not even close. From what I understand today, I was misled initially on the 650, 660 girls that were auditioned. That was just for the lead role. I think Jayne Theory said there were 1,000 girls or so, or something. I'm not quite sure or if she even said a specific number. There were a lot of girls.
No, she didn't know it. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. She didn't know the specific number, but we all thought it was all four for 650. It's the lead role was 650. So how many more girls tried out for the other three?
Well, and my problem is, where are those audition tapes?
Oof.
Yeah, was the audition an actual proper audition, or was were the girls asked to perform specifically? Because normally audition, as I said before, you read, the actor does their own dance that they prepared for, that they know, and that's it.
Each one, according to Gary, each one has an individual tape, MP4. That is, oh my God. All right.
Sounds like a self-tape audition then, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I'm sick with this.
Yeah. No, I'm.
Yeah.
I mean,
now in this
it's
country,
important to highlight that this is a terrible thing, but it's also really difficult to talk about at the same time.
Yeah. Script in this country, do we still require to have they're not called child advocates, they're called with child actors on the set, you're required to have a custodian of some
to have
sort.
A guardian, parent, or a custodian of some sort. Yeah. Parent, guardian, custodian. That has to have the best interest at heart with the child. Usually a family member is preferred.
Oh, I thought there was also a neutral person.
Yeah, and they're around the entire workday. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are on set. They're constantly in contact with that child.
Chaperone
so
is
I
also
just
another term.
Yeah, I just didn't. I don't. Yeah, thank you. I just don't. Is that the same standard in France? I mean, see, there's stuff we don't know here that's really bothering me because I don't have access to the information.
Well, this is an independent film in France too. This is also an independent film in France, so we don't. They don't really fall under the same rules.
Wow,
which is also something to note of.
I have so many questions. None of the answers will be satisfactory because overall, this thing, I don't know. It won an award. The jury that gave the award ended up. No, it's not. That's not the same jury, but. One of the co-founders of Sundance is in jail awaiting a secondary charge for additional, badness with kids.
Violations. Yeah,
and that's how you know this crap with these awards is fake because it's only there to award people for putting out these secret agendas to the masses. All this stuff is fake, man. I'm sick of it.
I'm beside myself, and I have been for days, and it's why I haven't done a video on it. First of all, y'all are doing a great job on your videos. You're saying everything I'd like to say, probably a little more clearly than I would, because once I get going on this, I stop thinking.
But I want to ask y'all this quick question. What do you think is going to happen to Netflix now?
I don't really know, because you have a couple of different types of investors. You have some opportunists that are going to take advantage of the depressed stock price and try to step in on at some point in time where they predict the bottom of it would be. But I don't see it going down too substantially, and I think it'll probably rebound, which is going to make me crazy. But they are losing a lot of money because they're losing subscribers. If you think about the fact that there's a petition right now with over 600,000 names on it that are calling this out, and that there are multiple GOP lawmakers asking the DOJ to look into this. There's a lot going on here. Yeah, well, Ted Cruz joined in today, but there were other people involved in that effort. Yeah, other people were involved in that effort.
They can only look into why Netflix purchased it. Yeah, they can only look into why Netflix purchased it. When it comes to the actual content of the movie, they have to make an appeal to the French government.
Exactly. Yeah. But here's the thing: if this falls under the line of Fredo-ness, right, or that kind of material, then is Netflix a distributor of said material at that point? I would have to say, yeah, right. And
proving that is going to be really difficult, but they can definitely prove child exploitation and sexualization of a minor. But the other part's harder to prove, so I think it'd be smart for them just to go for the charges they can 100% get the result they need to for. If they try to make it if they try to make it more opinion based, they're going to lose, and it's going to basically just be a win for the filmmakers, not so much for Netflix because they're still going to hurt from it, but it's going to be a win for the filmmakers and those who have positive things to say about this film. So if I were in the room, I would very much advise them, listen, go for child exploitation, go for the sexualizations of a minor, because you can get those irrefutably. They're there. It's any rational person watching those scenes should be disturbed and understand that at its best, it's a terrible group of idiotic people who don't understand how to get a joke across and are using it and are pumping that terrible joke through children, because that's the best you can say, and it still bothers the hell out of me.
Right. Let me get to the super chats, guys.
Please do. Yeah, I'm gonna get a drink of water.
Yeah. I think Yeah, I think we're done with the topic for now. That was a great discussion. Toxic Man flew for $2. Shout out to Drunk 3PO. Good looking dude. And Jayne Theory hit us up with a sticker that I can't see because my computer sucks and I can't look. Does anybody know what it is? Does anybody know what it is?
Drunk 3PO.
I don't know, but it was
good job, Fox.
No,
Yeah.
it's a new thing. Drunk 3PO is the greatest. He is the greatest marketing of himself I've ever seen. The man is a genius. A genius, I say.
Hey,
Well, you know what?
I still have yet
let
to
me
see
get
him
that
drunk.
guy real quick. Drunk 3PO. I'm tired of you talking about my mom, sir. If you talk about her again, I'm coming to Florida. Stop talking about my mom.
Damn, Jay, what are you doing to your boy?
Oh,
Fatal.
that is wrong, man.
I swear.
Fatal. They have gators in Florida, man.
You
There's
guys
gators
don't understand, man. When I'm in the Dark Council chat, he always talking about my mom.
That's a shame.
Oh,
Drunk 3PO.
you know what?
stop.
That's. You mean the Mr. Happy Drunk 3PO, but in the background he's just beating the crap out of
He's
you
a
poor
grouch.
guys? That's just horrible.
He's lying to you guys. When the camera's on, he's Mr. Smiles. But then when we in the Dark Council chat, he just beats me down mentally.
Right.
3PO.
What a
Right.
jerk.
Jay, I'm
It's
sorry.
like
I
Mr.
really-
Rogers. You know,
Drunk
Mr. Rogers
3PO.
used to be so sweet.
Drunk
While-
don't give me for that one. He
While I
just-
while I have a chance, Fatal J has a mailing list out for his comic that's coming
Yes.
up. And Drunk 3PO has a mailing list for his book that's coming up.
Yes,
We
he
got
does.
a lot of really cool Fandom Menace creators that are making some
Yep.
great things for us. And I'm really proud of everybody in the community, like Red Gaze, who did Sunsworn. Like, I'm really proud of you guys, man. You fill me with a lot of inspiration.
Yeah, and I've been backing that stuff. And, you know, I just want to thank the Fandom Menace because, man, when somebody puts something out, you guys really support. I'm a part of that. I'm saying you guys, but what I'm saying is this. Man, we come together, and when somebody
Mhm.
have a project, everybody backs each other up. And it just blows my mind. It's just mind blowing, and then you have these freaking articles out there and talking about all the Phantom Menace is toxic and they're horrible people. No, they're not. They're just speaking the truth, and you don't want to hear the truth. Just like with this Netflix stuff, you don't want to hear the truth. Look, you're fooling around with these little girls. You don't understand. You're filthy. You're scum. You're the lowest of the low on this planet Earth. And people like you should be wiped out. Yes, I'm saying that. You can shoot darts at Fatal J later on. I don't care. But I'm speaking on a lot of people. I'm speaking on what a lot of people is thinking about right now. The world would be better off without pedophiles, man.
Hell.
Give me point blank.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, we're gonna finish up with these super. No, I appreciate you, man, and we're gonna finish up with these super chats and then close it out because I have to be in work in 4.5 hours. So,
Sport.
Yeah,
one.
Yeah,
one.
Two.
He caught up.
I did catch up. Oh my god, I'm part of this show now. This is awesome. All right, Toxic Man Flu for $2. There is no debate. This is wrong. I've actually trying to time you guys, so I start like a couple seconds before I think you're going to end, and now I realize I've just been interrupting you guys. Sorry about that. Anywho, I like this one. It says Toxic Man Flu canceled Drunk 3PO, and then you got the Time Prophet saying make Drunk 3PO sober, and I agree with all that. So yeah, we're gonna close this one out, and I appreciate
Drunk
everybody
3PO
who came.
is sober. He's sober all the time. I have yet to see him drunk.
Yeah, that is true. It's like ironic. Is his
He
name
gets lit on the
ironic?
Dark Council. You can tell when he's getting lit on the Dark Council.
He does this thing where he sits back and he kind of wipes his face
I've seen
and
him
he goes
buzz
quiet.
best, really.
Who you guys
Yeah.
talking about?
Drunk 3PO
Drunk
drinking.
3PO.
Oh yeah, when he gets drunk, when he drinking on Dark Council, this is what he does when he's drunk.
Yep.
Yeah, and he wipes his face. He wipes it.
That's how you know when drunk been drinking. He do it every time. He'll get real quiet and he'll put his hand right here.
Yep. That's it.
What are you talking about, Fatal J?
What you talking about, Willis?
What are you talking about, Willis? Hey, don't forget Dudley got, touched in the back of that bike shop. I don't know if you remember. I do.
Oh, I remember. I
Yeah,
remember that. Yeah. See,
my-
they were trying to warn people back
Yeah.
then.
I remember my mother maybe
they
watched
started
that
it.
episode. Yeah.
You know what? Culture
Were you in the
Casino
tub?
is the most digital guy on planet Earth. I still think he's Dr. Robotnik. Look what he got up there. He got my comic book cover.
Nice.
Man, Culture Casino. I wish a
Let me read
casino
this real quick, and then we can look up the thing.
money.
Toxic Man Flu. Yes, sir. Toxic Man Flu for $5. Fatal J takes solace in the fact you beat Drunk 3PO where it counts in the Chris Evans department. Hail
Damn.
to that, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Hail to that. All right, let's take a look at this.
Say about men with big feet.
They wear
Yeah,
big
big shoes.
socks.
They wear big socks
Yeah.
and big shoes, baby.
Oh
Yep.
Lord, this
Yes,
live
sir.
stream went everywhere. Okay.
It did.
It did, man. Thank God we're ending on a good thing, though, right here. Fatal J,
Yeah.
I am so proud of you, my brother. Look at that. That is gorgeous.
Sport, I'm proud
That
of
is
you.
gorgeous.
Man. You've been doing some impressive things on YouTube.
Oh, please. I could barely get on YouTube. What are you talking about? But I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Hey, man, if it wasn't for people in this fandom, like,
Yeah.
I know he hates it, but like Gary and Steven and Drunk and you and guys just shouting me out and talking well about my channel, I wouldn't be the little channel that I am right now. And I appreciate that.
I'm telling you,
appreciate that.
man. And I hope you don't get offended by me saying this, but I always tell anybody, if I was white, I would be Spork.
That should be a hashtag.
Dude,
I'm serious.
I think
you remind
we are
me
the
of
same.
so much. We the same, man. We the same. We the
Hold on.
same.
Can I move you? I'm grabbing you. I'm trying to slide you over. Oh, this is going to get ugly. I can't work this goddamn thing. Okay. I'm not going to move it. But
All right.
yeah,
Oh God, yeah, twins.
Yeah. Yeah.
we're twinsies, brother. I'm at my mom's house. Don't talk about my mama.
This the only thing, though. I cut my mustache off last week by
I
accident.
know what you're doing,
I need
man.
to grow my stuff. I feel naked right here, man. I feel like Chris Evans.
I knew something
feel
looked
like a
different
man.
with you. I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, everybody said that about me. They said something looks off about Fatal J. The mustache, man. It's power in the mustache. It's power in it.
There
Let's
is
get a
power.
Sharpie
I
and
feel
draw
like
it back
Chuck
on for the
Norris
time being.
X. I feel Chuck Norris X. I actually have a chin with my beard. You take it off, all of a sudden I'm like, what's up, everybody? All right. Makini 90 for $5. I've said it before. Sporking is the white Fatal J, or is Fatal J the black Sporking? Let's ask the question, people.
I'm the black Sporking. I agree.
Vanilla
We
Vantage.
got this, man. We need to have a show. We'll have to think of some good name for it, though. Me and
I
you
agree.
just going to town, brother. All right.
I agree.
Let's close this out. Let's start with, we're going to leave our great Fatal J for last, our guest. So we're going to start out with a solo shot of the Script Doctor. Tell them where they can find you, sir, or anything you want to talk about.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, thanks so much for watching, everybody. And Scott, thanks again for having me on tonight. You can find me at youtube.com/scriptdoctor or on Twitter at scriptdoctorphd. So my Lower Decks review might be out tomorrow or Monday. I finished all the recording. I got all my screen captures, so I just have to work on the editing. And it's late now, so I'm going to do that tomorrow. And yeah, so look for that on Sunday or Monday.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here. You always make my panel sound smarter, so I appreciate it. Thank you. Next up, oh no, I don't want to go there first. I want to go right here. The Great Culture Casino.
Hi. I think it'd be wrecked. What about you? Do you want to go see? Do you want to watch the Snyder Cut together?
No, I'd rather watch it with Sporking or with the board.
But what about?
What are you doing? Are you trying to take Thomas away from me? I don't appreciate that.
This was promised to me first.
What?
My future ex-husband, right here. The only one. You're the only future ex-husband.
I don't want you though. I told you I want orange.
You want orange?
Here it comes.
I like it when you fight.
You know what? I mean, maybe if you didn't shave off your, maybe if you didn't shave, but I would want you. Now you look like a baby. Now you look like a baby face. Like,
you know what?
You just look really weird when you shaved. So
you don't want me, Thomas? You don't want me? I took my shirt off for you on a live stream. I'm throwing it back.
One of my favorite moments.
Let's watch the Snyder Cut together.
I can't unsee that. I can't unsee that.
I just wish you could have saw Bear Nerd Fun's face when that just happened. He took it off screen, but he was like this.
Great. That's great. We'll meet it back for a minute. I gotta get a drink.
You guys would make a lovely couple.
I will forever hate you for that.
Speaking of making a drink, I'm going to finish this bottle tonight. So yeah, do it. Thank you. Thank you.
You know
Thank
that
you,
stuff.
Steven.
That stuff is a hangover in a bottle.
Anyway, make sure you sub to everybody on this panel because I love them all dearly. They're great friends. Script is doing some amazing content with the lower decks. You should definitely check that out. And Scott is funny unintentionally all the time. Author Stephen Walton is producing a book, or a second book, actually. Hopefully, Drew will edit it appropriately, although we've seen some of the stuff that Steven's written before, so we hope it gets a lot of editing work. And then Fatal J has an amazing comic coming out. I'm so excited. I'm going to promote that all the time. I'm so pumped. Anyway, thank you all very much. Make sure you support independent creators because they certainly deserve it. And that's it. Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you, brother. Culture. We should get a commercial for his book that we could play every Saturday. That'd be dope.
I'm working on it. Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
All right, awesome. And that's Stephen Walton with his shirt on.
Culture loves me. He does. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you. The show wouldn't be anything without you. Please get on Fatal J's mailing list. Get on Drunk 3PO's mailing list. And keep on lookout for all of the wonderful things that are going to be coming out.
What were you saying?
I love you, Scotty. Thank you all for being here. Thank the panel. Please subscribe to everybody on the panel. I am author Stephen Walton, the Fandom Menace historian, your Fandom Menace historian, born in the chats of the High Council with my brothers and sisters fighting for our modern mythologies. Wash your hands, wash your masks, be good to each other. Peace.
And last, thank you, Stephen. And last but not least, the ninja himself. Fatal J.
I have to tell you guys something very important. I don't know how people on the panel and people on the chat is going to handle this, but I'm just going to say it the best way I can. Okay? Here it goes. Butterflies in the sky. I can fly twice as high. Take a look. It's in a book. It's reading rainbow. I can fly most anywhere. Take a look. It's in a book. It's reading rainbow. Take a look. It's in a book. It's reading rainbow. Reading rainbow. Reading rainbow. Reading rainbow.
Wow.
Touching.
That's touching.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
I feel touched.
I feel like I've been touched. In a way I don't want to ever be touched again. Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. Make sure you get on his mailing list, buy his damn book. That man's a musical genius. God love you all. Take care, everybody. And remember, wash your hands, wash your blood.
Wash your ass.